Vice President, why Parliament pays so much attention to Zimbabwe now? Because the successor of Mugabe is his very close ally and man who has a nickname Crocodile because of his relation to corruption, because many scandals he had and also many atrocities he performed.
It was very important to put a light on the process of transition we have now in Zimbabwe because, as you remember, the present president that took the place of Mr. Mugabe, it was his vice president for a long time. He was also the person that tolerated and implemented many of the atrocity, the terrible decision that Mugabe took in the last decades. And so we are very scared that this next election could not be, let's say, could not fulfill the international standard, could not respect exactly the international standard, it could not be really free. So it was important to send a strong message from the parliament. We are watching what's going on. We want to have free election, democratic one, with respect of pluralism, and to give the people of Zimbabwe the real power to decide who's going to rule the country in a fair way during the next years. And we for sure we hope that this message will be understood by the government, but at the same time we will continue to be the watchdog of democracy for all sub-Saharan Africa, and we will call strongly all the authorities to fulfill the promises and to let enter also the international observers to the country to observe all the procedures of elections.
What are the consequences if they don't respect it? Would it reflect in our investments or rejection in Zimbabwe, or what other tools do you have to influence the promotion of progress?
Let's say that the European Union, it has a strong power and a soft power, very important. It could have important tools like in the development and the development help aids, but at the same time we also for sure we can push our business company and general to reconsider their investment in the countries. This is very crucial for us to be coherent. Otherwise, we will create a kind of competition with China, with the other countries, to see who is going to be more blind to tolerate such a kind of attitudes. This is not the case. We should speak not just to the government, we should speak openly to the people, to the citizens of these countries, saying that Europe is giving a kind of example of good relationship, and so in this case we should be ready to cut off all the kind of helps and even to put all the commercial and diplomatic pressures to ensure that Zimbabwe will respect and will have a free and democratic electoral process.
What do you think about China? Because if Chinese step in and Europe step out, I suppose the progress in democracy won't be so far.
For sure, but even if Europe will stay and be blind and will not say anything about any problems, will not help the citizens of Zimbabwe neither. I said many times that this competition of China that is not taking care about human rights and progresses in these countries, it is a real problem. It is not in improving the situation, on the contrary, is increasing the risk, but at the same time we must focus on which is the goal, and if the goal is to help these countries, China is speaking to the government, we must speak to the citizens, and the citizen must know that Europe is beside and we are ready to support their fight for democracy, to support their fight for pluralism, and in this case we will really able to change the situation. If we will enter in the competition with China just to decrease our standards, we will fail for sure, and in any case the Chinese, we know very well, they are not committed to the human rights, so we'll enter into a negative spiral. We should reverse the process and to push a lot clearly with a clear speech to the defense of the human rights, working with the population.